Hey, everybody, and welcome to Maximum Libertarian. I am Brian.
And I'm Dean back.
Yes, and Dean, welcome back, Dean. This is your first show of the new year, so thank you I'm glad you're back. But for anyone who's just tuning in, please click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and as always, Dean, what do they do, that like and share button?
Smash that like button. Smash it.
Smash the like button and share the video, please. Follow us at We Are Max Lib, and that's where we are on Twitter. But today, what we wanted to talk about, and I titled this video, Democrats Are Silencing Everything. And the reason I'm saying that, and let's be honest with you, I understand the Republicans are notorious for doing that too, but it's right here in the open, and everyone is just like turning a blind eye to it, and it's really scary. It's sad, and let's just get over to the first story here. And I know everyone's probably seen this, but it's Parler. They have now been booted from Amazon, Apple, Google, and it may go offline temporarily. That's an alternative social media source that individuals see that you're able to say what you want. It's a more of a free speech zone. But from my understanding, Apple is wanting them removed because they're not protecting the listeners. Like, they're not trying to harness in when some right-wing or crazy conspiracy theory gets put up. What do you think about that, Dean?
Well, the first thing is Parler is much like Facebook, but it's different in the aspect that you have more free speech. They don't take your stuff down. President Trump will happily take Parler. They probably would let him on there without a problem. Where they've just took out him on Facebook, Twitter, and every other social media platform for inciting riot is what they're saying. It's how you see it. But the whole point there is Parler was basically a more individual rights, and they could see it as we're talking about how Democrats take over things. It was more or less where people were going, because the left-wing media and the left-wing conspiracy theorists and the left wing as a whole was attacking Facebook, taking things down from other libertarians or Republicans. They both had stuff taken down by Twitter and Facebook, YouTube. We know that personally. So, so they had been taking stuff down. So it's a left wing version. That's what the other ones are. And where you had Parler, who was being more open, let you talk what you want to talk about, and is considered more of a center-right type of social media, because it would allow more of the First Amendment rights to be stated there.
Right. This is scary times, and understand, as these are private businesses. You've got, if it's Facebook or Twitter, the Apple, Google, I get it. But there comes a time, and we've got to really get to this, when you silence speech, because they're the only place I can go to get an app for my iPhone.
Yep.
I don't know what do you use iPhone or do you use a Google?
iPhone.
Okay. So that's the only place. So if I say, hey, well, you know what? Screw Apple. I'm going to go elsewhere. There's nowhere else. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard this, back in the day, there used to be 30 plus like news wires. They've all been consolidated down to the AP. And what happened? Now we've got 6 corporations, 6 mega corporations. They control the news. That's why everything sounds the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's time that when you see groups try to break in, they get shut down. And I don't like Glenn Beck, but guess what? The Blaze, when he brought that on, which I thought he was very brilliant. I thought it was he left CNN, he went to Fox. He left Fox, started the Blaze, and he tried to get it onto the networks or onto cable systems. But since NBC, Time Warner owns CNN, MSNBC, and ABC owns Fox, and I don't believe Fox News was in the transition with when they purchased Fox,
Nope.
the media, but still, there's a lot of tentacles and things. So let's bring this up here. It says, look at that. Fox News host Tucker Carlson claims CNN is trying to force his network off the air. And if you go through this, and if you watch what he says, they're just trying to silence them. They're asking network cable companies to deplatform it.
Yep.
Carlson also claimed at least 6 cable carriers have been contacted by CNN on the request. This is scary stuff right here, because this is CNN going after their competitors. When Parler gets taken after, that is Twitter, that is Facebook, that's Instagram, that's all these other social media seeing something brand new and they're trying to attack it. You know.
Yep. And I watched this whole thing, believe it or not, live yesterday. I flipped through. I try to get multiple takes on how, the Republicans and the Democrats are type of networks are trying to, twist things, and just, as a independent source myself, looking at it, you can read through the bullshit, and basically, it's true. Tucker got a lot of good points. They're trying to shut down Fox News so they don't have, which is more right leaning. I mean, even Trump's calls it. It's not even right leaning anymore, but it's more right leaning than most of the rest of them. And they were talking about, trying to silence them. Well, that's what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to pull in North Korea, where you're going to have, this is the news, state-induced media, and this is what you're going to listen to, and this is the way we're going. And it's because of the violent nature, the ugly nature of the left wing and socialism that is leading to this. And socialism leads to communism. So if you think about it, this is what they're trying to do to you. You're trying to silence the way you hear news, so you hear it in their rhetoric only. You got to be brilliant. You got to be smart. You got to read through the bull crap, because there is a lot of bull crap when it comes to, I'll watch Fox News from time to time, usually Fox Business, because Kennedy's on there. Well, she was pulled off the air for a while too, during the summer. So you see where we're going with this. They don't want to silence Republican biased or centrist or libertarian biased voices, so you only hear what Biden and the left wing is going to say. They want you to understand that's the way it's going to be. This is the way it is. They want to take the rhetoric away, or anybody that competes against them away from them, so that you hear just one story. And it's not the way to live. That's not America by no means.
Well, you got to listen to, if you remember back at the election, the media worked tirelessly. Well, they didn't even have to work at it. They just did not report anything about the Hunter Biden scandal. All right. Now, that's bothers me, not because of look, if Hunter Biden wants to snort cocaine, cool. He wants to smoke crack, cool. I heard he was having sex with underage kids. Well, that's not
cool.
He should be put in jail for that. But let's keep that hush-hush. What I have a big issue, I have a big issue with that. But I have a big issue also with our president-elect Joe Biden going over and getting the what's it called, the quid,
Whoa.
There you go.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, you can tell me how I'm supposed to say it, but he took bribes from China, and
bro.
There we go. He is not even being challenged on this, except by Fox News for some reason. We spent years. Look, if Trump had something with Russia, I had no issue about them challenging him. The problem that I had was when it came out that, hey, there was some screwy stuff that President Trump or President Obama, Vice President Biden did to the oncoming administration. This stuff comes out. This isn't like me making it up. Oh, it's a right-wing conspiracy. No, it's not, because they've done it to Trump. I think they railroaded him.
Yep.
and they wasted a lot of taxpayer money for absolutely nothing. We got nothing out of it, and now we've got this idiot coming in, and I shouldn't say, but that's what President-elect Biden is. He's a friggin' moron, and how anyone really voted for him was really a shock.
And I don't.
There's no way you could look at him and go, "Oh yeah, look, you look at Biden or Trump, he stinks. You look at Biden, he really stinks too." But you had a third option. You had Joe Jorgensen, but we're not
choose
that. We're not supposed to say that.
Yeah, we're not supposed to say that. And we're getting blamed for the Georgia elections, which doesn't surprise me one damn bit, because we had a Libertarian in there. Whatever. You know what? You screwed yourself. You chose to vote for one of those two stupid candidates that now you're dealing with some of the worst stuff you've ever seen in America, where you storm a freaking Capitol building, and then you have the other side, which is pretty much looking us to go to communism. It's awful. I mean, it's just an awful time to think about it. It's just it's a scary thought. And then you have that option with you have Biden coming out of his on inauguration day. He's going to come out of his basement, take a train, which is, I mean, in this day and age, that was kind of a stupid decision to say they're going to take a train to Washington, especially on what just happened down at the Capitol. I mean, let's just be honest, it's kind of a security issue.
It's not real. I mean, come on.
And then,
let's be honest.
God forbid something were to happen to Biden at some point, we get Commie Law Harris, and I guess I call her Commie Law because that's what we're looking at if we continue with these Democratic people. And she's worse than Biden, in my opinion. So, I mean, we're in trouble. I mean, we need to do something, and that's going to start with trying to get people in the state house for Libertarians in Virginia and then nationally. We need to start. We need to take it back. It's 2 years is going to be way too long, or even a year. It's going to be way too long to wait.
There's truly going to be a lot of destruction brought on by this administration. We've seen a ton of destruction brought on by the Trump administration. And but that's not the point. I don't want to bash Trump today, because today I really want to focus on the series that the Democrats are bringing on. Now let's look at this. This is a new one, another story. We've got pro-Trump rocker Ariel Pink's label drops him for following the controversy over attending the rally.
They're taking away the First Amendment. They're taking away the First Amendment rights of that individual. What is wrong with that? I don't think there's anything in his thing that's drawn up that says he don't have a right to have a First Amendment decision on things. It's just ridiculous. It's out of control. They're taking away everybody's First Amendment rights, and that's the sad part about what we're going into here.
Right, and this is the problem, and I have with it is, he might have said, like I say here, he's got some controversial stuff, but who cares? Once again, he can say whatever he wants. He can do whatever he wants. I know people who went to this rally also, and they did not go there, and they did not go into the Congress. They didn't even know it was going on, and they were far back, So it was really a strange situation. But if people go up there and when I talked to her, I said, "Hey, how was it? Was it crazy?" And she was like, "We went up there because we were going to go to support the president, and that was all we were up there to do." Here's another story that we've got coming up. Fans ripped the Washington football team's quarterback, Taylor. Was that Heineke?
Yeah, Hinkie.
He's a Trump supporter. You can't say you support anybody, you get attacked. And if you go down, let me go down, and you'll see that all these people are talking about how they're praising him and how I guess he played well. I don't watch football, so
they didn't make the next round, but for Washington being as bad as they were this year, he helped them get as far as they got, and he did a good job yesterday. I watched the football game. He did a decent job, and then I heard all about this, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! You take someone that plays sports, and you're taking the First Amendment right away. What is wrong with people? Just because, anybody can look up on our pages and know we're Libertarians, okay? So you look on something on his, and he's a Republican. They bash anybody that doesn't agree with them, and it's just awful. It's an awful thing,
And as you can see, we've got people now. Here's everyone making fun of him. for being a Donald Trump supporter. It's disgusting. Like, you know, we have all these idiots sitting here.
We can't say nothing.
No, you're not supposed to. But see, that's how we unify. You shut up and you follow me. That's how we unify. Correct. And that's how people have got.
That's how you unify. That's how you unify if you're in North Korea.
Well,
this is the United States of America, people.
Well, it should be, but the way that their media or social media, everybody, boycott businesses, boycott this. Let's throw eggs at a quarterback of a football team that don't mean nothing.
It's like I said, it's going towards communism, and we're not even into the administration yet.
Right. And this is, like I said, once again, this is scary stuff. And we better stand up. Now, I'll tell you, the one thing that you should do is you should knock the blinders off, because it took me till I was, let's see, how old was I? It was 10 years ago. So I was 35 years old and 34. And that was when I found the Libertarian Party. And I was like, now I'm able to, when I took the blinders off and went, okay, Republicans aren't good. Democrats aren't good. I like the Libertarians better, but it's really time. We're at this point. We've got to be more than single digits. I don't really care about Georgia. You want me to tell you about Georgia, why they lost there? President Trump, the lifelong Democrat who went and they signed that deal, that big omnibus deal, and $2.3 trillion. And what happens? He comes out right after it gets signed and says, give the people $2,000, which immediately he sold the Republicans because he knew they weren't going to be able to get that put through Senate. He sold them down the river. Okay. Then you had Joe Biden down there offering, you put these two folks in the Senate and I'll make sure we get the $2,000. He bought and paid for that. And that was courtesy of our dear leader, President Donald Trump.
You do realize that's the first thing on the list for them to do.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. Oh, no. And then also gun control and, free.
Oh, yeah. We need to watch that for sure. You're not going to do. You're not going to be able to come take people's guns, because there will be revolt for that.
Look, you know what? And police officers, and I love police officers. I love the military. Same. But you know what? They take an oath to the Constitution. They better read the Constitution. They better understand the Constitution. When a stupid law gets put down by someone who says they're your dear leader, you better tell them, yeah, take it and hike, throw it out you better revise it, because you're not going to enforce it. That's the only way this is going to happen. Okay.
One thing I will say, as a libertarian, we can actually get more members now, and there's a way to do it. A lot of people, a lot of Republicans are running away from. There's the ones that are diehard Donald Trump, which we can question if they're Republican even now, and we got ones that are actually turned to become. Are running away from the Republican Party because of what's going on. And we need to, as libertarians, same with the Democrat Party, they were getting too far socialist, they're running away. We need to grab those people who are more moderate and more close to the libertarian philosophy and bring them our way. Yeah. That's a way to grow. That's a way to get more than 2 or 3%. And that's a way to do things.
Right. I totally agree with you. All right, let's bring it up this next step. All right, now here's something else. Here in Roanoke, we had a business. He went up just to the pro-business to pro-Trump rally, and it's Bernard's Gastropub and Eatery. It's back open, but people are all over it saying, please don't eat there, because, he don't care what people say or feel, even though it may be bad for business. They don't care.
So when is slander by the media a good way to go? First off, if he chose to go up there and he peacefully protested, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's his right given by the Constitution of the United States to go up there and voice his First Amendment, Second Amendment, any amendment right he feels that he wants to on the streets, as long as he's doing nothing illegal. If he did not enter the confines of the Capitol, where a lot of people did, of the actual building itself. He didn't commit a crime. He was just up there supporting the president, doing what he wanted. That's his president. That's our president. Whether we like it or not, President Trump was our president. Whether we like it or not, Joe Biden's going to be our president. As the president, that's the person that runs this country. Now, we need to hold checks and balances on people. Okay, we need to hold them accountable, but we can't, as a person, as an American, sit there and think it's okay to bash a business owner because he went up there to support President Trump legally and didn't, do anything illegal. There's nothing wrong with that's like us when we vocalize what we believe. We may be in a smaller contingent group. When we had a time where they were doing eminent domain, we went down to Roanoke. We were in that group of people that were against eminent domain. Well, you know what?
Well, hold on one second, just real quick. The reason we were in this rally was because it was a pipeline coming through the Mountain Valley pipeline. Me and Dean went down there. We had most of the folks down there were talking about the environmental issue. Myself and Dean, we were more concerned about stealing someone's property to put up the pipeline. Now, at the same time, we both know and we want the clean air, we want clean water and things of that nature. But before we need to also have we need that, but we also need to make sure that the person's personal property is taken care of.
That's what you call leadership by example. When we went there, I don't know if I was in the 5th yet, but 5th and 6th congressional districts in Virginia, leaders went and voiced our opinion. That was peaceful. Nobody was arrested. Nobody was violent, and we did what was right for getting the message out. So that's what we're trying to say. This business owner, he just wanted to whether we believe in his views with the president or not, he did nothing illegal. He just went up there to voice his opinion. And voicing your opinion, that's a constitutional right. So to bash them, and for the media, and here we go with the media again, to get on board and kind of pushing slander towards this. I mean, look for a news story, but that's kind of slandering a business. You're helping these people that are going after this business. You're helping them by giving them media. So it's a form of slander to this poor guy, this poor business owner who probably has a decent restaurant. I don't know. I've not been there in a brewery. Who's a small business just trying to get by. It's not right. It just isn't.
Right. I'm totally agreeing with you. It's sad. It's sick. Now, that's the few stories that I wanted to show, because I believe we've got to start pushing back. You can't be silenced. I know it's easier said than done sometimes when businesses will be put up and be protested, and people are trying to silence you, and you've got to move forward. And it's time. I really tell you, it's time for people to remove the blinders, and you've got to look at all the candidates, because the reason we're in the situation we're in is because
you're blinded.
People play this as team sports. It's my team wins. They don't care that Joe Biden wasn't a good candidate. The Republicans didn't care that Donald Trump wasn't a good candidate. They just wanted to see their guy win. Now, then when you watch how they lead, the policies they put into place, well, guess what they do? They put in horrible laws, they put in horrible policies, and then we get to suffer. But see, it don't matter, because the citizens will go out there, hit the panic button, and then we flip over and nothing ever changes. So take off the blinders, join the Libertarian Party. Hey, I don't care. I want you to join the Libertarian Party. But even if you don't want to join, get active with a Libertarian candidate. Get active with an independent candidate.
Yep.
Look for people other than demand that when there's debates, you got to demand that everyone gets to be heard. You got to demand from your local media, from news stations to newspapers, which are dying, but that's a whole nother story. That's the only thing that's going to save this. Otherwise, we're going to continue to be silenced. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Right. So, you know what, everybody? Dean, do you have anything else to say?
No, stand up for your freedom.
Excellent. I think that's a good way to close it out. So everybody, thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so whenever we're on. And Dean, what do they do?
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button. Share the video. Follow us on Twitter. We are Max Lib. And until tomorrow, my friends, all I can say is don't be free. Don't live free. You better stay free. So see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.